guys, good afternoon. Students, am I audible?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yesterday we discussed the Warshall's algorithm to find the closure of a relation. Okay, so just revise that. Then we'll go get into the another topic that is called function and the types of functions. They will give you some relation. They will give you some relation on any set. Then first we have to find out the matrix, initial matrix, that is the matrix representation of the given relation, that is MR. So that is where initial matrix for the iteration, Warshall's iteration. Okay, now in the Warshall's iteration, first we have to come to the first column. First column, identify the position in which we have the non-zero numbers. Identify the position in which they are having the non-zero numbers. For example, in the first column of the matrix, the first position and the fourth position is non-zero number. See, therefore, in the first column here, we have to write down the numbers, position numbers 1, 4 are elements. They are element and 4 position numbers. They are position numbers 1, 4. Similarly, come to the first row, identify what are the elements which are non-zero, then find out their position. Look at this, the first position is here non-zero, third position is non-zero, fourth position is non-zero. Write down these numbers, position numbers here, then make the combination. Okay, then after finding the combination, you put that in 1, 1th position, 1, 1th position, that should be 1, 1, 3, that should be 1, 1, 4, that should be 1. Make all these position numbers as 1. Suppose if the matrix already having 1 means don't disturb it. If it is has 0, then make it as 1. Then in the next iteration, you have to take W1 as the initial matrix, then come to the second column, identify the position. Okay, then look at this here. Second column, second position is non-zero, so therefore here it is 2. And then come to the second row, then here it is 2. Then make the combination is 2, 2. Then make in the matrix 2, 2 position as 1. Already it is 1, don't disturb it. Then take this matrix as initial matrix for the third iteration. Then come to the column number 3, identify what are the elements which are non-zero, or identify the position which are non-zero. Look at this, here it is 1, 4. And in the third row, the fourth element is non-zero. So therefore, make the combination 1, 4, 4, 4. Make 1, 4 and 4, 4 element as 1. Then you will get another W3 matrix. See, this is the procedure. Okay, after finding the final matrix, wherever we have a non-zero number, you make the combination. That is, for example, 1, 1. Here it is 1, 1, 1, 3, 1, 4, and then 2, 2, 3, 1, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 1, 4, 3, 4, 4. You plug these elements in your R plus. These elements are these pairs are your in your new relation that will become a closure, or in other words, that will become a transitive relation. See, this is the Warshall's algorithm. Of course, I have given the statements, step-by-step procedure in the material. I think it was in the last page of the material. Yesterday, I uploaded in GCR. Please go through the material. See, this is a simple algorithm. You can easily do it. See, next we move on to another topic, that is function. Today's date is 4. 1 minute. 0408 21. Today's topic is function. Already you have heard about this terminology, function, isn't it? Have you heard about this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. See, of course, a function is a kind of relation. A function is a relation. First of all, function is a relation. For relation, we need at least 2 sets. one domain set, another one is a codomain set. Okay. So relation is a subset of A cross B. Similarly, function is also a subset of A cross B, but function should have some specific properties. They are called well-definedness. They are called well-definedness, and every element in the codomain should have an image. Should have an image. See, these two properties are distinguished properties for function. Okay. Now, let capital A and capital B be two sets. Be two sets. Okay. A relation F, a relation F from A to B is said to be a function if the following conditions should happen. First one is for every A in A, okay, for every A in A, there is an element B in B, such that f of A equal to B. Okay, f of A equal to B. Second one is suppose A1 equal to A2, where A1 comma A2 belongs to A, then f of A1 should be equal to f of A2. So this is called well-definedness property. Whenever A1 equal to A2, then their image is also equal. Whereas in the relation we may have different images. For example, I take A equal to say for example A comma, say for example 1 comma 2, and B is also same. B is also 1 comma 2. Then what is A cross B? A cross B, which is 1 comma 1 and 1 comma 2, 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2, and 2 comma 1 and 2 comma 2. If I take any relation R having the element like 1 comma 1 and then 1 comma 2 and 2 comma 1. See, this is one relation because R is a subset of A cross B. But see, this is a relation, but R is not a function because look at this. See, this is the image of 1 under the relation R, and this is also the image of 1 under the relation R. See, there are two distinct images for a single element, for a single input. It should not be the case for the function. If you have one element, then there should be only one image. There is, if you take any one input, there should be only one output. Okay, we are not considering more than one output in the case of function. Whereas in the case of relation, if you give one input, there will be more than one output. Okay, see, R is not a function. R is a relation, but R is not a relation. Okay, let me give one example. See, this is second one is well-definedness condition. This condition is called well-definedness. Well-definedness condition, and the first one is so for every element in the set A should have an image. See, none of the element in A should not have the image in B. Okay, every element should have at least, of course, there should be only one image. Okay, let me give some example for a function. Example. I set capital A, which is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and my capital B, which is the same set, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now, I define the first function. Suppose f from A to B defined by f of x equal to x. Is it a function or not? Is it a function or not?
Yes, sir.
Why? Because if I substitute x equal to 1 in the, say for example, see this is the input position. See this is input position. If I plug number 1 inside this parenthesis, then we will get the same number. See therefore all these numbers are available in B. See therefore f of x equal to x is a function. Okay, let me ask another question. Suppose second one, f from A to B defined by f of x which is equal to x plus 1. Is it a function or not?
No, sir.
Why?
For 5, it will be like.
Yeah, for the element 5, there is no image. See, therefore, the relation defined by f of x equal to x plus 1 is not a function. It is a relation, whereas it is a relation, but it is not a function because the element 5 does not have an image in B. See, therefore, if you want to define a function, we must be very careful about the domain and the codomain. Here it is, domain is the set A and the codomain is set B. Okay. Okay, now, here, see what is that? Here B in B such that f of A equal to B is called image of A, and A is called pre-image of B in B such that f of A equal to B. Okay, f of A equal to B. Okay, I'll erase these things because already we discussed many problems. Okay. Okay, now let me give another example. Suppose A which is equal to set of natural numbers, and B which is equal to set of real numbers, and I define, so this is the third one, f of x which is equal to x square. Is it a function or not? Set of natural numbers into set of real numbers. See, for example, if I take number 1, then what is your f of 1? F of 1 is 1 square, which is equal to 1, which is obviously belonging to R, right? And then if I take any x belongs to n, x is a natural number, then f of x which is equal to x square is a real number. Every natural number is a real number. See, therefore it is belonging to R. See, therefore f of x equal to x square is a function. Okay, fine. Whereas if we reverse it, for example, fourth one, A which is equal to set of real numbers and B which is equal to set of natural numbers, and you define f of x which is equal to x square, it is not a function. Reason? What is the reason?
0.
0, yeah, very good. 0 is a real number. Okay, 0 is a real number. If you plug this 0 inside your parenthesis, I mean f which is going to be 0 square, but 0 square is 0, which is not belonging to the set of natural numbers. See, therefore, this f of x equal to x square is not a function. So this is due to the domain and the codomain. Okay, fine. Now the set A is called domain of the function, and the range and the set V is called codomain. Okay, fine. Now we come to the another definition, that is f of a. F is a function, a is a domain. Then f of a, which is nothing but collection of all b in b, such that f of a equal to b, where a belongs to a. See, this is called this f of a is called range of the function. Range of the function. Okay, is it clear, guys? What is the difference between codomain and range? What is the difference between the codomain and range? Which one is a superset? Which one is a subset?
Codomain is superset and range is subset.
Very good. Okay. See, that is f of a. F of a is always subset of b. F of a is always subset of b. Okay, fine. See, next one, 1 function. 1 function or injective function. Or simply injection. Okay. Let f from a to b be a function. But first of all, it should be a function. Okay, if you want to define a 1 function, a relation from a to b, that should be a function. That means that should satisfy the above 2 conditions. Okay, fine. The function f is said to be 1 to 1. Okay, 1 to 1 if whenever a1 not equal to a2, which implies f of a1 which is not equal to f of a2. Whenever a1 not equal to a2, which implies f of a1 not equal to f of a2. F of a1 not equal to f of a2. Okay. See, the contrapositive or negation of the above statement is if f of a1, see, this is same, okay, or f of a1 which is equal to f of a2, which implies a1 equal to a2. See, this is a definition of 1 function. Let me give one example as well as a counter example. Let a which is equal to set of real numbers, and b which is equal to set of real numbers. Both are set of real numbers, and I define f of x which is equal to f of x equal to x plus 1. F of x equal to x plus 1. Is it 1-to-1 function? Is it 1-1 function? Is it 1-1 function or not?
Yes, sir.
Why? What is the reason?
So for every
Yeah. Suppose if you take x1 which is not equal to x2, and x1 comma x2 belongs to R, they are both are real numbers, but they are distinct real numbers. Then what is f of x1? F of x1 is x1 plus 1, and f of x2 which is equal to x2 plus 1. Suppose if it happens, suppose f of x1 which is equal to f of x2, then what will happen? Which implies x1 plus x1 plus 1 equal to x2 plus 1. Okay, then which implies x1 equal to x2. What we assumed? We have assumed that x1 not equal to x2. But if you assume that x1 f of x1 equal to f of x2, then we are arriving the contradiction that x1 equal to x2. See, therefore, this is a contradiction. This is the contradiction. This is a contradiction which implies f of x1 is not equal to f of x2. F of x1 not equal to f of x2. See, therefore, what is your claim? Therefore, the function f is 1 function. F is 1 function. Okay, is it clear, guys? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
Then next one is my set A, which is equal to set of positive real numbers, that is R plus set of positive real numbers, and our B, which is equal to R. And I define f of x, which is equal to x square. Is it one function? Is it one function?
Yes, sir.
How?
So because it will be positive x square f of function.
Okay, now let x1 comma x2 belongs to R plus. Okay, that is they both are positive real numbers, and x1 not equal to x2. X1 not equal to x2. Fine. Then what is your f of x1? F of x1 which is equal to x1 square, and f of x2 which is equal to x2 square. X2 square. Suppose f of x1 which is equal to f of x2, then what will happen? Which implies x1 square which is equal to x2 square. X1 square equal to x2 square, isn't it? Which implies what is that? X1 square minus x2 square, which is equal to 0. But what is a square minus b square? A square minus b square is nothing but a plus b to a minus b, isn't it? See, therefore, we can write x1, what is it? X1 plus x2 into x1 minus x2, which is equal to 0. Remember, here we have taken x1 and x2 are positive real numbers. See, therefore, if you take the addition of these two positive real numbers, that will be positive. See, therefore, product of these two real numbers becomes 0 means, these two become 0 means this must be 0. And this is, this is not equal to 0. This must be 0. Okay, this must be 0. That is, x1 plus x2 not equal to 0, but x1 minus x2 equal to 0. But what it says that x1 minus x2 equal to 0 means x1 that should be equal to x2. Okay, what they have assumed that? They have assumed that x1 is not equal to x2, but because of this assumption, what is the assumption? F of x1 equal to f of x1 equal to f of x2, we arrived that x1 equal to x2. Okay, so this is a contradiction. See, therefore, our assumption is a contradiction. Which implies the assumption f of x1 equal to f of x2 is wrong. Okay, is wrong, which implies f of x1 which is not equal to f of x2. Hence f is one function. Is it clear? Okay. See, I'll give the another problem. You tell me whether it is one function or not. Third one, suppose my set A which is equal to set of real numbers and B which is equal to set of real numbers, I define the same function f of x equal to x square. Whether f is a function, is it a function first of all? Is it a function or not?
Yes, sir.
It is a function, okay. First of all, it is a function. Then whether it is one function. Is it one function?
Yes, sir.
Why?
So because positive and negative x will have
Sir,
same value.
because if x1 is equal to fx2, but a and b are not equal. a1 and a2 are not equal. x1 and x2.
Okay. She said another answer, okay. See, positive x and negative x goes to same image, okay. See, positive x and negative x, they are distinct elements, but it goes to same image. See, therefore it is not a one function. Very good answer. See, x and minus x belongs to R, but what is f of minus x? F of minus x equal to f of x, which implies f is not one function. F is not one function. Okay. See, I will discuss some more problems later. Let me define another function, that is onto function. Onto function. Let f from a to b be a function. The function f is said to be onto if for every b in b, okay, for every b in b, there is an element a in a such that f of a equal to b, okay, f of a equal to b, or in other words, f of a which is equal to b, okay, f of a equal to b, or all the elements in the codomain should have a pre-image. Should have a pre-image. Okay. What it says that for every b in b, there is an element a in a such that f of a equal to b. See, all the elements in the codomain should have a pre-image. Okay, pre-image. Okay, let me ask some questions. Simple problem. First one. Suppose a which is equal to set of real numbers and b which is equal to set of real numbers. I define f of x which is equal to x plus 1. F of x equal to x plus 1. Is it an onto function? Is it an onto function?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what is your explanation? You take y.
X to be x minus 1.
Yeah. See, for suppose if y belongs to b, then what is the pre-image?
X y minus 1.
Very good. Okay. The y minus 1 belongs to a such that what is that? F of y minus 1 which is equal to y minus 1 plus 1 which is equal to y. See, therefore, look at this element y is an arbitrary element. See, therefore, this function is onto function. Fine. Yeah. What about the second problem? A which is equal to R and B which is equal to R, and F is defined by f of x equal to x square. Is it an onto function?
No, sir.
Why?
So for negative numbers, there won't be any pre-image.
Very good, very good. For negative numbers, there is no pre-image. Okay, it is not a onto function. Since for negative real number, there is no pre-image. Okay, so clear, right? This is clear. Next note, the onto function is also called surjective function. The onto function is also called surjective function. Is also called surjective function or surjection. Okay. So next definition, bijective function or one-to-one correspondence. Bijective function. Now, let f from A to B be a function. The function f is said to be bijective if f is both 1 1 and onto. It is also called one-to-one correspondence. Okay. Yeah. Let me give one example. Let's see, the simplest example is identity function. Example. Set of A equal to set of real numbers and B which is equal to set of the same real numbers, and I define f of x which is equal to x. It is bijective. Okay, already we have seen the function f is 1-to-1 and onto, so therefore it is bijective. What about x plus 1? A equal to set of real numbers and B which is equal to set of real numbers, then f of x equal to x plus 1. F of x equal to x plus 1. Is it bijective?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it is also bijective. Okay, and third one, if A which is equal to set of positive real numbers and B which is equal to set of positive real numbers, and I define f of x equal to x square. Is it bijective?
Yes, sir.
It is bijective. Very good. It is bijective. Okay. Whereas if you remove r plus instead of a equal to r plus, if you choose r, then it won't be the bijective. Yes, a which is equal to r and b which is equal to r plus, then I define f of x equal to x square. Yes. What will happen here? In this case, a equal to set of real numbers and b equal to set of positive real numbers.
And not bijective because not one
It
to
is
one.
not, yeah, it is not bijective. It is not bijective since it is not, it's not one-to-one function. Okay, one-to-one function. Very good. Okay, next we move on to another definition, that is identity function. Identity function. Okay, a function from f from a to a itself, is said to be identity function. Identity function if f of x, which is equal to x, for every x belongs to a. For every x belongs to a. Okay, so this is identity function. Okay, next we move on to another definition, that is called composition of two functions. Composition of two functions. Okay, now let f from a to b, and g from b to c be two functions. Okay, the composition of f and g is defined as follows. Look at this. F is a function from a to b. So this is a function from, this is my a and this is my b, and g is a function from b to c. This is c. Okay, see, therefore the composition is a function from a to c. Composition is a function from a to c. But see, in the composition, which function should be written at last and which function should be written at first, in the first position. That is very important. So look at this. We are starting with a, and then we are end up with b. Then for these elements, we are starting with, the function g starts with the elements belongs to b, and then it is end up with c. See, therefore the composition notation should be start from G composite f. See, this is the correct notation, because we are going, suppose if I take any x belongs to this a, I'll be operating this x here. Then it is going to be g of f of x. Look at this x belongs to a. It should be operated under the relation or under the function f. We cannot operate this element under the function g. See, therefore, this is the correct notation. See, this is the correct notation for composition. Okay, now f of x which is belonging to b, we can operate this f of x under g. This is meaningful. Whereas if you have written like this, If you have written like this, that is F composite G, and then if I take any X belongs to here, then what is the notation? That is F of G of X, F of G of X. What is G of X? Our G of X, which is belonging to B, let me take this G of X equal to Y, but this Y does not belongs to this Y does not belong to A. This Y does not belong to A. See, therefore, we cannot operate this Y under F. Cannot operate this Y under F. See, therefore, the correct notation is G composition. F is a correct notation. This is the correct notation. Okay, this is not. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Now, so what is this? The composition is defined as, see the composition, G composite. I'll erase these things because we need the, yeah, you understood this. See the composition G composite F is a function from A to C. Okay, that is G composite F of X, which is equal to G of F of X for all X belongs to A. For all X belongs to A. Okay. So this is the composition definition. There are some properties in the composition. We'll see it one by one. Then if time permits, we'll discuss some problem. So first property, composition is associative. That is composition of functions is associative. That is, if F is a function from A to B, and G is a function from B to C, and H is a function from C to D, then H composite G composite F, which is same as H composite G, then composition with F. Both are one and the same. So this is the associative property. We can interchange the parentheses. Okay. So this is the composition, associative property of composition. Proof. First, we have to prove that the domain of the left hand side as well as right hand side are same. Okay, the domain of left hand side and the right hand side are same. And if we plug any element inside these two expressions, they should have the same value. Okay, now what is F? F is a function from A to B, and G is a function from B to C. See, therefore, G composite F is a function from A to C, isn't it? Am I right? Am I right or not? G composite F
Yes.
is a function from A to C. Fine. Now, H is a function from C to D. See, therefore, H composite G composite F is a function from A to D. Right? H composite G composite F is a function from A to D. Similarly, let me call this as equation number. This is equation number 1. Then come to the right hand side. What is the right hand side? In the right hand side, h is a function from where to where? C to D. It is a function from C to D, and G is a function from B to C. See, therefore, H composite G is a function from, because look at this, here it is domain is C, here codomain is C here. See, therefore, this is the correct combination. H composite C is a function from B to D. Alright? H composite G is a function from B to D. And F is a function from A to B. See, therefore, the correct composition is H composition G composite with F is a function from, see, this is a function from A to B, and this is a function from B to D. See, therefore, it is a function from A to D. Okay. So let me call this as equation number 2. From equations 1 and 2, we are running short of time. I'll finish this. From equations 1 and 2, the domain and codomain are same. Okay, are same. Okay, and I'll finish it later. This today's session.